Good Saturday afternoon. We are broadcasting from high atop Rustler Gymnasium as we get ready for the second half of our doubleheader coverage here on 88.1 and on Rustler Media. Big thanks to Wyatt Barichka and Riley Bouillon. They were our play-by-play guys on the previous game, and we thank them for stepping in and doing that. Eastern with an 85-61 win over the CWC ladies. Ladies played a very staunch first half, but second half kind of fell off the rails a little bit for the Central women as they fall to the Eastern Wyoming Lancers for a second time this season and stay winless on the year at 85-61.
It's kind of a shame, John. I thought they played maybe their best first half that we'd seen in that first half of this game, but the second half, how many times have we used the term tale of two cities?
Yeah.
Tale of two halves.
Unfortunately, as they did not come away with the victory there as they had their chances in that first half, but that's why you play the 40 minutes, I guess, of this basketball contest.
I thought their defense in particular was good, I thought, in that first half.
Yeah, they played pretty well. And as we've talked about a couple of different times, they played very well in that first half, but unfortunately come out on the wrong end, 85-61. This will be the 19th meeting between these two squads. Central actually leads it 13-5.
Of the modern era.
Of the modern era, for sure. Eastern won the last after Central won both last year. Brad Schmidt against Tim Mosher, 3-2. And they'll play the sixth time between those two coaches at their respective programs. Last meeting between the two, Eastern won at Torrington. They won 74-66. They led by 7 at half. They outscored them by 1. Jalen Searle scored 28. Johnny Levias had 18. Eastern was led with 4 of their 5 starters in double figures, and they only had 10 points off of their bench.
Which is unusual because they have a very contributing bench, really, that's all over the place.
They have about 40 people to bring off that bench.
And they've all got some numbers.
If you look down, who are you going to eliminate when you look at the score sheet? And one guy that I decided to eliminate that I thought, well, okay, maybe this isn't going to happen too much. He's going to be a starter today. So Tim Mosher working the bench a little bit for his black and yellow, the Lancers of Eastern Wyoming. So last time out, Central fell to Western at home, 86-75. Eastern lost to Casper. Coach Mosher said we kind of laid an egg in that one. They lost 87-76. He had kind of beaten Casper as bad as Casper's been beaten at Casper earlier in the season, and the Thunderbirds came in with a little chip on their shoulder and took it at the Lancers and won 87-76, stopping a 5-game win streak for the Lancers in the process. Last year, Central won both, so we'll see if there's a split in this series here between these two squads this year.
And, of course, last year, much better record for CWC, too. So we don't really know what bodes here in this contest.
Yeah, 20-win season for Brad Schmidt. Right now, though, on the other side of that, not happening this year at 2.
They may not play 20 games.
2-12, the way they're at right now. Eastern is at 12-6 overall, 5-2 in the Region 9 North. Pre-game show will continue. We'll take a quick break. When we come back, we'll have an interview with the head coach, Brad Schmidt. We'll get you starting lineups and get you ready for basketball. It is Eastern and Central, Region 9 North men's basketball on 88.1. get you some starting lineups in this afternoon's basketball game. First off, they are the visitors from Eastern Wyoming College. They're head coached by Tim Mosier in his third season. He is a 1989 alum of Eastern Wyoming College and their basketball program. He's also done some coaching down at Colorado State University. He brings in a team that's averaging 80 points per ball game, and they will start like this. Number 10, he is a 6-foot sophomore from Logan, Utah, averaging 9 points, 7 rebounds, is Carter Barish. Number 12 is Terence Jones, a 6'3 freshman out of New Jersey, their leading scorer at 17 points a game and an 86% free throw shooter. Number 20 is Nikolai Gustafson, who's a 6'4 freshman out of Finland, averaging just shy of 10 points per ball game. Sofiane Nokara, a freshman, 6'2 from France, wears number 24. And then getting the start today is Herman Melisic. He is a freshman, a 6'5" out of the Ukraine, averaging 8 points and 2 rebounds per ball game. Again, a team that averages 80 points per basketball game. They're shooting 36% from the three-point line and averaging 40 rebounds per ball game. For Central, they're averaging 82 points per ball game, so we could see a high scoring affair between these two. Central shooting 33% from the three-point arc, averaging just right at 40 rebounds per ball game. So pretty even on paper when you're looking at statistics there. They will start like this. Will coach Brad Schmidt, and he's going to start the same 5 he started on Wednesday. He'll start number 1, the point guard, 5'8 sophomore out of Milwaukee, Wisconsin, is Jalen Gentry. Number 2, the 6'5 freshman from Vallejo, California, is Johnny Levias. Number 4, a 6'4 freshman out of Newberg, Oregon, is Jack Klumak. Number 5, a 6'7 freshman from Seattle, Washington, Jalen Searles. And in the post position, the 6'9 sophomore from Stuttgart, Germany, wearing number 24, is Sebastian Gaza. That is your starting lineups for the CWC men. And again, Gentry, Levias averaging 14 and 15 a game. Searles averaging 13. Klumak goes for 6 points per game. Gaza, good minutes out of him, not a scorer, though, out of that number 5 position too much.
And that's what's interesting when you look at Eastern. I think they've only got 2 players averaging double figures, which shows you how many contributions they get. And they got somebody at 9, I believe. But it's like, you know, when you're scoring that many points, you'd expect you to have more than 2 players in the double figure category.
Yeah, you look at how many games that each that have played, you see 4 and 2, and then a 1-1, 3-1, 2, and it's kind of been all in different games for Coach Mosier's basketball squad, but he has a bundle of them over there in black and yellow on the bench.
Looks like a hornet's nest over there.
Might not have enough chairs over there for the visitors when they come in. Central down a man as Abdi Tahir no longer with the program. Our women's program missing a player too after Aseta Nye no longer with the program for the women's side as well. So kind of the end of the year attrition for these two teams.
Also we're down a player with an injury as well. For the guys also, Mr. Long is not able to play, Stephen Long.
And one for the girls, Samantha not being able to play with a boot on her foot as well. Sam Meadows not being able to go. She's gone for the rest of the season as well. So one advantage to having 30 kids on your team is you got a longer tunnel for the starting lineups for them to come out. So
also you can scrimmage. Sometimes you get to that attrition and you aren't able to scrimmage truly.
Could have your own tournament right now with them. Starting lineups for both. And then I mentioned this at the state 3A, 4A basketball tournament, but Ty Larson is the manager for Texas Tech. He is a graduate of Eastern Wyoming College and played basketball for the Lancers. He was the manager for Texas Tech that got in that game on senior night and took the charge for Coach Beard and that team a couple of weeks ago and had his little ESPN moment of fame. So Ty Larson from Eastern Wyoming College.
We're seeing a lot of that in these first round NCAA games where the lead's a blowout for both the team that's ahead or the team behind, getting people in that may have not even scored all year. So somebody got 4 points coming in at the end, his career high.
Yeah, the Rustlers dressed in their home whites, orange numbers, black trim. The Lancers in black uniforms with yellow gold numbers and white trim and the yellow gold stripe up and down the side. And I'm watching Jonathan Peeper. He is a freshman forward for this team, and he's kind of their Colder Galante of the team, if you will, from old. He's kind of their Energizer bunny. He's kind of the brings the energy for that basketball team. He's not a starter, but he is doing everything 100% for Coach Mosier in the warm-ups.
We had one last on our guys team as well. Our two-sport athlete was kind of in that mold. Also, whose name escapes me right at this moment.
Looks like it will be Jalen Searles stepping into the midcourt circle. And we'll see if it's going to be, it will be Melisic as he will check in against Searles. Your officials today, Matt Freeze, Cody King, and Rosie Brown. And Searles gets the tap quickly, and he will become the point guard after that.
Interesting that your tipper ends up getting the ball right back.
He'll get it to the baseline. He'll turn and spin. Nope, they'll call it for a travel first, and that'll be a turnover on Central to begin the basketball game. We will have our head coach, Lindsey Fearing, join us at the break. At the halftime intermission as Nokara across the timeline looking for a pick from Gustafson. Gives it back to Gustafson. Low block, turnaround spin for 15. Back of the iron, no good, but an offensive rebound from Melisic.
He's good applause from his bench. As you say, maybe he doesn't play as much as some, though he's starting today.
Yeah, he gets the start today as he'll throw baseline. Driving with it is Nokara. He'll flip it back out to Melisic. His three misses off the mark. And Jalen Searles a central rebound. Searles to Gentry. That Jalen will fire from 15. He'll miss it. It's going to stay Central basketball as Gaza was kind of in a sandwich right there.
Just kind of clever because he's like the white of the Oreo there with the two black uniforms surrounding him.
Melisic average, he has played 17 games. This is just his fourth start. Thrown away on the inbound and take it away. Central second turnover. Melisic spins it back out.
Big guy drives as well.
Yeah, he's going to take the baseline, spins it back out, hands it out to Jones. Dish driving, Nokara fouled, and he will shoot some free throws.
Yeah, kind of forced the contact, but the foul is the right call.
Jalen Searles, first personal, team foul number 1, and Nokara will go to the line. Nokara, the team shoots 66% on the year, and he will get the first. Nokara.
Curious what a shock it is for all these foreign athletes the guys and gals teams have when they suddenly end up in Torrington, Wyoming.
39% free throw shooter, and it's like the United Nations because there's several different nationalities as that ball is knocked out of there. 3 on the way, no good. And then another offensive rebound coming for Eastern as they're taking control on Central right now, rebounding-wise. Gustafson, and he gets called for a travel. Is
that the right call when it's been hit and then he gets the ball back? Because he didn't really had it knocked away and got it back separately.
I thought maybe he stuttered after he gathered it back in.
That could be it.
Where that came from, but turnover number 1 on Eastern. 1-0 our score, 90 seconds into the ball game. Really playing Gentry to use his right hand. Levias steps up, launches 3. It's going to miss off the mark. Gaza the rebound. That's blocked out of there. Taken away by Barish.
You make an argument maybe he might have been fouled on that play.
Left side, outside, Jones. One-on-one with Levias. Steps on the three-point line and buries it just at 2 for Terence Jones. Again, he is their leading scorer at 17 points per ball game. 3-0, 2 minutes into it. Levias leans in, contact and a foul. And Johnny Levias will go to shoot a pair. That foul is whistled on Nikolai Gustafson. First personal there. Central will close out the year playing 3 games in 4 days starting Wednesday. 2 of them will be on the road.
Close out the regular season.
They will be at Casper on Wednesday, at Cheyenne Friday, then home against LCCC on Saturdays. They'll play them back to back.
For that strange event you were just telling me about off mic, the triple hitter of the cavalcade of sports here at CWC.
Levias hit the first, second is on the way and is good. 3-2 our score. Talk about cavalcade of sports as Gustafson labors it into the front court, kind of galloped it into the front court a bit. All 7 of our CWC athletic teams will be in action starting on Thursdays. Milicic gets a 3 away, but comes up empty, and the rebound by Johnny Levias.
By the way, they do have enough chairs, but one is standing at the end.
Paid for the whole seat, but only needs the edge. You didn't want to make Coach Moser feel bad for being the only one standing up right now.
The coach can't sit down.
Levias baseline, floating 15, no good, and rebound tipped into the hands of Nokara. Central right now 0 for 4 from the field, and yet only trail 3-2, now 6-2. No, that 3 falls off as well.
He's had a few opportunities, hasn't hit any yet.
Ball is stolen away, turnover on the Rustlers. Driving with it, Jones takes it the distance.
And Gentry actually tried to commit the foul so he wouldn't get the layup, but they didn't call it. I think he did commit it, but just no call.
Three misses. And another rebound pulled down by Nokara. He's got 3. 5-2 the score. Terence Jones has 4 of the 5 right now. After that drive, 3 Rustlers will come in, 1 Lancer will come in. That 15-footer left short. Levias the rebound. We played a long time without a whistle, to be honest with you. Levias at the top.
There may have been a foul, though.
Yeah, exactly. I said nothing was called. It just says Klumok's 3 doesn't go, and Gustafson the rebound. Central 0 for 3 from the arc right now. They're 0 for 6 overall. Only points a couple of Johnny Levias free throws. 4 new Rustlers will come in, so the entire bench is going to come in.
Every healthy body will be coming in.
Knocked out of there by Levias. Taken away by Klumok to Johnny, and he will be fouled on the low baseline by Milicic.
That's you won't give him the layup foul right there.
So here comes Caden Koch, the 6'5 freshman from Las Vegas. You'll see Trey Sims, a 6'5 freshman from Ogden. Jake Maddox, he is a 6'1 freshman from Los Lunas, New Mexico. And the three-point sniper, Davis Richard, the 6'3 freshman out of Frederick, Colorado, will check in for Central after this free throw. You'll also see Caden Toldson from Idaho. He's a 6'4 freshman. Chris Samas will check in as well. And it looks like Enzo Uri, a 6-foot freshman from France, checking in for the Lancers as Johnny Levias body anglishes the first free throw in. He's 3 for 3 from the arc, from the line. The only points on the board right now for Central. Second one is good, and he will exit.
So all but Jalen Gentry are gone temporarily.
And that is the 9 that we have on the court for the Rustlers. Dressed out, in fact. Three-pointer by Eastern, not going to happen. Davis Richard the rebound. They like to shoot the 3, and they will shoot a lot of them. 5-4 the score. Gentry, baseline, flips it back out to Sims. Maddox with 12 to shoot. Gets it back. Jake Long, 3 on the way, left it short. And the rebound goes out of bounds to the Lancers. So Maddox triple caroms out of bounds. Also have Grant Williams into the ball game for the Lancers.
Well, the Lancers had the baseline. I think Kitcher was driving, but they had the baseline wide open. Did Tagus and dished it back out.
Back-to-back threes missed by Carter Barish. And Central back on the attack. Koch to the low block. Leans in, big fella gets pushed around, kicks it up top. Maddox again for 3, back of the iron, no good.
I think Koch does his own part in pushing around as well in those plays.
Central is 0 for 8 from the field. and yet only trail by 1.
Not a clinic shooting-wise at this point.
Yeah, no, 2 of 11 on one side, 0 of 8 on the other right now. Samas, 15, misses, rebound, rejected, going to the ground hard.
This player was rejected as much as the ball.
Top of the key, driving, Jones off glass, missed that one. Davis Richard, another rebound. Davis gets it back, steps up to the three-point line. Barish, he'll run past him and into a player. Maddox for 3 in the baseline corner. Still not gonna fall, and Barish another rebound. Boy, Central 0 of 9, they're 0 of 6 from the arc.
Yeah, both teams are actually pretty lucky right now where they are because of how badly they both shot.
2 of 13 for the Lancers as Toldson makes it 2 of 14. 5-4, 7 minutes into the ball game. Koch hands it back to Maddox. Jake drives down the lane, scoop it, score it, but they'll say it's on the floor before he got to that point. And the foul whistled on Carter Barish, his first. Levias Searles and Gaza back into the game. Also coming in is Terence Jones back in for the Lancers.
And Gentry will get his first rest for the Rustlers.
Inbound Searles working on Thomas, rejected by Thomas, but fouled by Terence Jones, excuse me, who will get the rejection and the foul.
Pretty physical battle as the ball came in tight like that.
Of the 9 points on the scoreboard between the two teams, 5 of it has come via the free throw line. Searles can't hit the first. Central 4 of 5. That free throw is good. Got 1 of 2. And we are tied at 5 apiece. 7 minutes into the contest. As neither team putting on a clinic, as we've talked about.
Neither team certainly playing a slowdown offense at all either.
Jones has it slapped away and taken away. Third turnover. Searles working on Williams. Rises for 17. That one's no good. Jones goes high for the rebound. Boy, Central's 0 for 10. That ball thrown off the knee.
I'm not so sure if that was a kick. I thought it was the chuck off the leg rather than the kick itself.
It was a delayed call as it just kind of bounced off the knee, and I don't think it was like kind of the intentional part to get there.
Maybe it was that Bears place kicker of a couple years ago.
5-5 our score, 12-20.
Parquet was his name, I recall.
Parkey, I think. One that missed the field goals.
They're the ones that were zinging off the crossbars, etc.
Jones, nice pass and a lay-in. And that is a bucket for Caden Toldson off a great pass from Terrence Jones. 7-5, Central throws one away. Jones, back to Jones, pump fake, scores it. He's got 6, the lead is back to 4, 9-5. Searles kind of threw it to a place. Luckily, Davis Richard goes to get it. Trey Sims for 3, that's good. Their first make of the game. 1 of 11 from the field, and after that slow start, they're still only down 1 are the Rustlers right now. Perimeter playing. Jones has it on the low block now. 8 to shoot. He'll spin for 15 and fade away, dropped it. 8 points for Terence Jones. 8 of their 11. He has scored as much as the Rustlers himself. 5 new Lancers going to come in, and Searles throws that off of Gaza out of bounds for a 5th CWC turnover. Klumak and Gentry back in for Central, and it's going to see Barish, Gustafson, Melisic back in there. Nokara's in there as well, and also in Quincy Taylor as Coach Moser goes deep into his bench right now with 5 new players out there on the court and an 11-8 lead. Barish thrown away, taken away by Searles. 4 turnovers on Eastern now. Gentry kind of had his defender on skates and then really gave up the ball before he could see anything come to fruition. Gaza laying on his back, and late jump ball whistle comes in. Central will turn it over on the alternating arrow with 10:27 left in the first half. It's 11-8, Eastern Wyoming the lead. And this is a hard game to see really any kind of flow in right now, just because Eastern is heated up a little. 5 of 17 is 29%, but Central 1 of 11, going 1 of 7 from the arc.
I'd hate to be setting up a press on a make.
Yeah, he might not get a chance. Fadeaway shot by Gustafson from 13 goes 11.
Probably shouldn't have faded away.
And the rebound by the Rustlers. Down by 3. Get a media timeout on the next stop in play. Gaza, Searles, pump fakes, drives, kind of hops down the lane, throws it wildly, got his own rebound and then gets fouled. We'll get a media timeout on that foul called on Quincy Taylor, so we'll step aside with them as we are midway through the first in a weird one. 11-8 our score. We'll be back with more Central and Eastern basketball on 88.1 after this. University of Wyoming women's basketball playing in the NCAA tournament Monday at 8 o'clock against UCLA as Searles cannot hit the first free throw. Jalen 1 for 3.
UCLA men playing BYU tomorrow. No, they play tonight, I believe, don't they?
It's a weird layout because Searles would get it. It's not necessarily like a Thursday, Saturday, Friday, Sunday thing anymore, is it? Because I know, I guess it started really on a Friday as Sims comes in for Jalen Searles. 11-9
Thursday
the
you
score,
had those 4
the first
play-in
4
type things.
Yeah, so that kind of threw my schedule off kilter a little bit in these COVID times. And that's when I asked Coach Moser, I said, you got enough kids on the roster? And he's like, you know, we just wanted to make sure we had enough. Melisic knocks down a triple. He said, this crazy COVID time, we wanted to make sure we had enough to play a season, and he's got enough and then some.
Yeah, we may want to make a trade with them for something.
14-9, the score. Eastern out in front. Sims to Gaza, knocked away by Melisic, taken away by Herman. He will go and flush it. 7 Rustler turnovers.
Also, when you've got that big a bench, it sounds like you're playing a home game because of the noise they put out.
And then a foul is going to be whistled on Carter Barish as he knocks down Jack Klumak into the Eastern bench. 16 fouls now. Only 1 foul whistled on the Rustlers so far through 10 minutes, 11 minutes of basketball. Klumak will throw it in the baseline. Sims steps into a three-pointer off the front of the iron. Rebound by Gaza. That 3 no good by Gentry. And then saving it off of a Rustler was Quincy Taylor. And it'll go out of bounds to the Eastern Lancers. Under 9 to play in the first half. 16-9, Lancers by 7. Rustlers starting the game 1 of 14 shooting right now. And in the postgame show, as Milicic will try another 3 and knock that one down.
5 points his last 2 trips down.
Yeah, he's got 8 for the game. And it's a 10-point Eastern advantage. Levias out to Gentry, the midcourt logo. Back to Sims. Corner, Klumak will try a floating 15-footer instead, and an offensive foul on Klumak will be the 8th turnover of the game on Central.
They had a pretty open 3 if you wanted it first there before the charge was called.
So timeout on the floor, a 30-second timeout. Again, we talked about a very busy CWC schedule. How about this weekend? Our women's soccer team played a couple of scrimmages, beat Northwest in the shorthanded one, 1-0. Lost to Casper, though, 4-0 in their scrimmage. Rodeo this weekend, the first of 2 rodeos in Gillette. Becca Hartley was 5th in barrel racing. Sadie Sturman was 7th in the breakaway. Cole Trainer was 8th in the steer wrestling. Jaden Yates was 9th in the 1,500 meters at MSU Billings as our outdoor track team. Cameron Bruff and Gabe Villalobos also racing in that 1,500 meters in Billings. Volleyball team had the weekend off. Our women's basketball
good week for
team,
them, though, going into the weekend.
Yeah,
though.
2 wins on Wednesday and Thursday. And then our women's basketball team falling earlier today, 85-61. Our golfers will begin their season on Thursday. Going to get an offensive foul called on Eastern as Barish came off of a bad pick called on Nokara.
I think they never mind. It looked like they had 6 players on there for a second, but I think somebody got into the game earlier before the guy went off.
Gentry in the backcourt double team. Klumak will race across the timeline to come help out. 8 turnovers on C-Dub, 5 on Eastern Wyoming, but Central just 1 of 14 from the line. Their other points are on 6 free throws. Gentry almost throws it away. Klumak gets hung up in the air, and he will throw it away. Long pass up ahead. Flush from Quincy Taylor.
Not the start CWC wanted, certainly.
Going to see 4 new Lancers check back into the ball game. Levias down the lane, bodies, and it will stay Central basketball. Klumak out. Sims out. Levias out. Maddox, Davis, and Searles back into the lineup. Koch takes it at the 15-foot line on the inbound, finds Searles. Davis Richard gets free off a pick for 3, and he'll knock it down.
It'd be great to get him started.
Second field goal of the ball game for the Rustlers, 2 of 16 from the field. Enzo Uri into the basketball game. Also out there is Brant Williams. Samus Jones on the baseline. He'll spin, turn for 15, and drain it.
That's not an easy shot. I was wondering if he was chatting to the bench, by the way, after he made it, in fact.
I thought maybe while he was shooting it, as he had kind of wasn't even facing the rim when he elevated and turns around and then splashes it.
Chippiness has been kind of a thing this year, it seems like, in junior college basketball.
Gentry for 3 this year?
More this year maybe than other years,
It seems like every single year it's this way.
I'm thinking maybe more this year, though.
Step back. Uri doesn't shoot the 3. Williams. Jones in a double team, throws it away. Maddox ends up with it. Jake in the backcourt finds Gentry. Jalen Long, 3 on the left side, got that one. Back-to-back triples by Gentry, and it cuts the lead to 5, and Coach Moser would like a timeout. 6 minutes left to play in the first half. It is Eastern 23, it is Central 18. After Central missed their 15 of their first 16 shots, they've made their last 3.
Yeah, 1/3 of their points just came in this and maybe half of their points came just recently.
Half of their points, as they have gotten 3 threes, two by Gentry and 1 by Davis Richard for their 9 of their 18 right now at 23-18 here with the final 6 minutes of the first half coming down. LCCC has 5 games left in the season after today that they've got to try to find time for. They're going to play one Monday after the end of the regular season next week, week from this Monday.
They've done that in the past.
And they will have to then come back and see when and where play-in games will be hosted for the Region 9 tournament, then come the end of that next week.
Very likely CWC will be on the road for that.
Coach talking about the pregame. And Koch on a late whistle is going to be called for the foul.
It's one of those, I think, had he made the basket, maybe the whistle wouldn't have blown with the lateness of the whistle.
Send Uri to the free throw line. Coach Schmidt in the pregame talking about if they can win 3 of these last 4 games, perhaps move into that 3 or 4 spot to host a play-in game, as that free throw does not go down, or does go down by.
Yeah, with 2 teams missing, you can go up or down the standings a lot faster.
Second one is good by Tolson. He's got 4. The lead is back to 7, 25-18. Gentry's going to run it across the timeline. Nokara is back into the contest. Searles, right-hand scoop, no good. Tolson the rebound. Top of the key, wide open. Nokara, front of the iron, no good. Maddox had a good block out, but instead, Samas comes over and grabs it. He'll fire for 3 on the right side. That's good. Back to a 10-point advantage now at 28-18. And again, some more Lancers lope to the check-in stand. Gentry in front of the Lancer bench. Gets it back, fires a 3 on the way. His third is good.
But how that feels, the only returner from last year's team now. It's sort of like the elder statesman when you're 1 year older.
Right, exactly. And that with the subtraction of Abdi Dahir, who has left the program at Central.
Which is too bad. I thought he had some potential maybe to move on from here. Maybe he still does, but.
Nokara, no good, out of bounds, Rustler basketball. Central getting out rebounded unofficially right now, 16-15, as Melisic back into the ball game for Eastern.
So basically a push on those rebounding numbers then.
Central with 3 more turnovers, but again, 5 of 20 overall versus 11 of 26. Gentry back to Richard. Davis hands it back to Jalen. 4:15 left to play in the first quarter in a 7-point game. Gentry gives it back up on top. Searles, he'll fire a 3 right side. That one skims off. Koch tried to one-hand the rebound as best he could, and it'll bounce off his hands out of bounds. 4:05 remaining in a 7-point Eastern lead. They led by 7 at the intermission of their last game and won by 8 when they played Central in Torrington. Melisic, baseline, stolen away by Searles and then fouled by Herman. That'll be his second personal foul. 7 Eastern turnovers now. And that'll be penalty, as that'll be 1 in the bonus. Free throws coming for Jalen Searles. Jalen 2 for 4 from the line.
I was waiting for it to be a hard foul so I could call him the Herminator.
Not a real hard one on that one. Searles at the line. C-Dub 6 of 8 from the free throw line. Jalen misses that one, but Davis Richard had it, and then Melisic will steal it away from him, and then they'll give it right back. Baseline, Gentry for his 4th triple of the game. Yes!
And where would they be without his shooting right now? I mean, they're down only by 4 in a game that you would think they'd be farther behind having watched this so far.
28-24. Pump fake. Central in a zone defense, or are they man-to-man right now? They are man-to-man. There's into the paint. A travel violation is going to be whistled on Okara. Now we're dead even in turnovers after those couple of turnovers by the Lancers. Barish and Taylor back into the contest for the Lancers as Samas and Uri will check out.
It's kind of like musical chairs when you come over to the bench after you check out.
Well, you got to hope you're out for a while, because if you shake hands with everybody on the bench, it takes you a while as well. As
plus your hand will be sore.
Coach Moser does have a lot of players. As Davis Richard down to Jake Maddock goes down the lane, he will be fouled. And a chance at free throws coming. That foul on Nokara. And it's happened here at Central, where there have been a bunch of players on the bench as well. So we're just
remember that one poster that one year where
I almost had to have "See Other Side" on it, as that free throw is good by Jake Maddox. 28-25. There was a 10-point game at 28-18 a minute ago. Melisic is out. Jacob's second free throw is good as well.
Lonnie Slack had to invest in a wide-angle lens before that team photo that year.
Eastern by 2 points. Barish, 15-foot straight away, left him wide open, and he knocks it down.
That was not his first option either. He wanted to pass the ball, but they left him open, so he says, I'll just shoot it, and he made good on it.
Less than 3 to play first half. 30-26. Maddox, nice move, kicks it out to Searles. Jalen runs in, nice dish to Koch, lay it off glass and in. That little extra pass, I think they thought he was going to shoot it. That left him wide open to dish it off to Koch, who lays it in. Tolson rises for 15, left side angle. That's good.
Well, both teams heating up compared to what they started with, which wasn't taking too much.
Exactly. 13 of 28 from the field. They've got 5 more shots than do the Rustlers right now. Maddox for 3 right side. That's good. Rustlers now 7 of 16 from the arc. 8 of 24 for the game. They have 1 bucket, that one by Koch that wasn't a 3-pointer besides their free throws right now. They trail by 1 with 2 minutes left. Pump fake, drive, Nokara, dish underneath, lay it up, missed it, got his own rebound, put it up, that's no good. And then Taylor's finally fouled after he gets a couple of his own opportunities. And that Central foul is whistled on Jake Maddox, his first.
It helped his rebound totals, but not his shooting percentage.
Quincy Taylor to the line. Free throw number 1 is no good. Again, Eastern as a team, 66% free throw shooters. Central, 71% free throw shooters. Barish will come out with 1:46 left. Levias back in for Central. Grant Williams back into the contest for the black and yellow. Second free throw is no good. He missed them both. Chance at a lead this time down the floor for C-Dub. They trail 32-31, 95 seconds remaining in the first half. Koch is wide open at the 15-foot mark. He just got yelled at to go set a screen, and he gets the ball thrown in his face right as that happens. And Central's going to get bailed out on a wild exchange there by Quincy Taylor on a foul.
Koch, I think, was just trying to read the ball handler and was waiting to see what he wanted him to do.
Brant Williams gets the foul, by the way. Not Taylor, and Searles going back to the line. Jalen 2 for 5. 3 for 6. Ties the game at 32 apiece. I think the second time we've been tied since 5s, if I'm not mistaken. Searles for the lead, yes. Wow, and for Central to start this, one of, 16, I think I said?
Yeah, the percentage has actually been very good since then.
Yeah, I think 7 of 8, if I'm not mistaken, since that point, including A slew of Jalen Gentry threes as Nokara from the three-corner knocks it down. Back to a 2-point Lancer advantage, a minute to play in the first half. Searles. Back to Gentry. 12 to shoot. Jalen. Pump fake. Launches a 15-footer. Tipped back up by Levias. He will be fouled as he goes back up with it. And he's going to be fouled. Quincy Taylor's second personal foul. And a Johnny Levias to the line. He's 2 for 2. He's 4 for 4 for all 4 of his points. Free throw on the way is good. 5 for 5. Central 11 of 14 from the free throw line. Keeping them in striking distance as Nikolai Ivkovic, sophomore, checking in, I think. It's the first time we've seen him. Nikolai from Serbia, 6'5" sophomore.
Coach might have wanted to send him in earlier, but he lost sight of him on the bench.
Klumak and Sims in with Searles, Levias, and Gentry. Trying to tie this up again, and does. 6 for 6, Levias. It's 35 apiece. 40 seconds left in the first half. Driving Taylor, dishes, no good, but a foul called. Tolson will go to the line.
The easiest call to make on that one.
Going to be on Jack Klumak, his second personal foul. And back to the line goes Eastern, Caden Tolson. Tolson, by the way, 66% free throw shooter. Koch will come in for Klumak after this free throw. Tolson to the line, free throw is good. He has 7, 12 points off the bench for the Lancers, 13 points off the bench for the Rustlers.
Which is interesting because they certainly have strength in numbers.
Second one is good as well. 13 points off of each bench right now. Eastern only got 10 points from their bench in their first meeting, as 4 of their 5 starters scored in double figures. 37-35 after both free throws by Tolson. He's got 8. He is a more often than not starter that did not start today for Coach Moser. Levias baseline, shut off there. 15 to shoot, 21 on the game clock. Searles steps into his 16-footer and drains it. Much better shooting second half of the first half for the Rustlers as we're tied again at 37 apiece. Driving shot, misses, 3 seconds left. Shot from half court, just off the right side, and we have played one half of basketball. Our score at the half, tied at 37 apiece. Just pretty much outright crazy from how these two teams started this ball game. 37-37 our score. We'll be back. We'll have an interview with our head coach, Lindsey Fearing, of the women's side after they fell 85-61 earlier today. We'll also give you some first half stats of this men's game as well. 37-37, Central and Eastern, nothing decided after 20 minutes of basketball. We'll return after this on 88.1, streaming live at rustlerathletics.com. Back at the intermission of the Rustler men's game, tied at 37 apiece, and Central men starting the game like 1 of 16 from the field, and some quick stats on that right now. They end up 9 of 27, so 33%. Still not great, but from where they started, a heck of a lot better than where it could have been.
Yeah, and actually Easton didn't even start shooting real well to begin the ball game either.
They go 44% in the first half, and we're tied at 37. And Lindsey Fearing, our women's head coach, joining us, and Joel and I both kind of came to the consensus might have been your first half of basketball. We haven't seen them all, obviously, but might have been your best half of basketball, that first half against Eastern earlier today.
100% agree. They played their butts off. We were moving the ball. We were getting stops. We were just everywhere.
Handling the press.
Yes. We were every game, every practice, we're getting better. You know, the end result is not what we're getting, but in the mix of what the end result, we are working hard.
So the second half, then, what became the story?
Yeah, that third quarter is what got us. I believe they scored 31 in that third quarter against us. You're not going to win when someone scores 31 in one quarter. So it was just defense, getting stops, and then having to go score. We looked gassed early.
And well, you have 8 kids, and you had one in foul trouble, I think. So maybe, you know, the gas tank might have been a little bit of attrition, or a little bit of the culprit there as well.
Yeah, and I think if we had Sienna today, I think it would have been a different ball game. She brings speed. She brings double-digit scoring. She brings defense and leadership. So we were missing a little bit of that today, but that first half was great.
I thought the man-to-man defense in that first half, after the very early opening, I thought played really, really well.
Agree. I definitely agree. We were on point with closeouts. We were on point with trying not to get face cut. We were rebounding. What I told them in the beginning of the game is let's just improve from the previous game that we played them, because it was just really bad. Today, it was the complete opposite. It was day and night. We only had 13 rebounds the first game against them. Today we had 31.
So then in the second half, I noticed you went to the zone. Is that because the team was running out of gas or foul trouble of a certain player? Or
we stopped playing our man-to-man defense how we did in the first half. We weren't moving our feet. Yeah, we weren't moving our feet. We just weren't in the same mindset that we had that first half. And so I had to do something to help them. And, you know, we had, 8 players today.
How do you scrimmage with 8 players in practice?
We just try to break down everything for everyone. So we're, if it's man-to-man, we're going zigzag. If it's working on our zone, me and coach will step in if we have to. I still got that shooter's touch. So
how about your conditioning?
Not very good.
I'm pointing fingers, and mine is very, very bad. And now you're going to play 3 games in 4 days to kind of finish out the regular season here, Wednesday and then Friday, Saturday.
Yeah, it's going to be a tough week. But so is LCCC. I mean, they're actually going to be playing Sunday.
6 and 10
Wednesday,
days or something like that, I think.
So they're going to, starting tomorrow, they'll play, today, tomorrow, Wednesday, Friday, Saturday.
And then again Monday.
And again Monday.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's going to be
And you'll
tough.
pick up the aforementioned Astorga, too. That will help, certainly.
Yes, I will have everyone but Sam again.
Right.
So everyone will be in the mix, and, we'll just keep working on what we're doing. And, what I tell them is, this season has been hard, but if we can do something for that playoff game, we're going to end up either playing Western Wyoming, Northwest, or LCCC. We can beat either one of those teams. So let's say we go this year, we don't win a conference game, and we win a playoff game, that's going to eliminate this whole year for us.
Right, yeah. We've had kind of kidded around about this, but just meeting LCCC at Casper and play Friday, Saturday in Casper or something like that. Have anything like that been talked about, or, does everybody still want their home court? And
everybody
that kind of
wants
stuff?
still home court advantage. Everyone still wants, to keep it how the conference is.
You probably have a favorite you'd like to play with the 3, but you won't tell us, right?
No, I won't tell you.
Okay.
But we'll kind of figure out what happens. I think we could play all 3 of them really tough and get it going.
Go ahead. I was going to say 18 for Miley. Hopefully she's okay. I know she got injured at one point down there. Alexis with 18
That
comes
kid
out
is
scoring
playing
some
out
points.
of her mind, and I love it. Her motor is so high. She wants to win. She's working her tail off. She's going to get O-board. She's going to set screens. She's going to go and get her own shot too. And I think it was just getting comfortable in the college game.
Yeah.
And it's definitely showing now, and she is just working. She had 18 and 7 today. So that was really great.
And obviously good to have Miley back.
Yes, it's great to have Miley back. I wish we had Sienna today. I think it would have been a different second half. But, you know, you got to take what you get. It is what it is. It's a day-to-day thing with COVID today.
All right, good luck on the last 3 in 4 days starting Wednesday. We'll hopefully get a chat with you either on Tuesday or Thursday in the sports show, and maybe an athlete or two, and we'll go on.
All right, sounds great.
Thanks for coming
guys.
up. You bet. It's Lindsay Fearing, our women's head basketball coach. They came up short today. 85-61 was the final score in that ball game, and they will be playing, as I said, 3 out of their next 3 games in 4 days starting on Wednesday to close out the regular season. We're at the intermission of the men's game, tied up at 37. We'll take a look at today's first half stats after we take this break. This is Rustler Basketball on 88.1, streaming live at rustlerathletics.com. (37-37) our score from Rustler Gymnasium as the teams, only one team, I guess, Central back out as Eastern has not yet emerged from the halftime locker room. 37 apiece.
However, if Eastern was the only team out there, you could say teams are out there too, though.
Yeah, could have at one point. Terence Jones with 10 to lead the way for the Lancers. Herman Melisic has 8. Caden Tolson has 8 as well. 4 for Nokara, 3 for Samus. Quincy has 2, and that's pretty much the 37 on the board right now for the Eastern Lancers. For Central, Jalen Gentry, 4 3-pointers. He has 12 points. Johnny Levias and Jalen Searles with 6. Johnny's all from the free throw line, 6 of 6 from the line. Jalen is 4 of 7. Central was 12 of 15 from the charity stripe in the first half to help make up for some not so great shooting. Jacob Maddox has 5. Davis Richard and Trey Sims each with a triple. And Caden Koch has a field goal in the ball game. And if I'm not mistaken, we have 2 field goals in the ball game that were not 3-pointers.
Also, you got to believe that Searles and Levias will be a little hotter here in the second half, which should be a good sign.
Yeah, you would think that shooting would not hold, as it were. We saw 2 lead changes and 4 ties in the first half, and the last tie is where we're at currently here at 37-37. Central 9.
Jonathan Piper, by the way, leads his team out by about a good 100 yards, both before the game and at halftime.
I told you that, he was their energizer buddy.
But he hasn't gotten to the ball game. I want to see some energizing as the game goes on.
And hopefully he brings that fire and tenacity when he does get into the basketball game. Central 9 of 27, 33%. 7 of 16 from the arc, 44% there helping them out, but they got hot late. And I think probably were about 6 of 9 of their last 9, in fact. For the Lancers, 14 of 32, 44% shooting in the first half. They were 4 of 13 from the arc, 31%, which is a little below their average. They did hit 5 of 8 free throws in the contest. Turnovers, I have dead even at 9 apiece here in this basketball game. So second half will commence with Central basketball. We'll get a timeout real quick. We'll come back with that second half. We'll also take a look at some of what our rest of our athletes are up to real quick here at Central. Again, our soccer teams played today. They will be getting their season started for real on Thursday of this week, I do believe. And no, that'll be next week that they'll get their seasons for real. April 1st and 2nd, I think, is when they get their season started. Golfers will be on the road to Otero this Thursday and Friday. And then the volleyball will be playing Friday, Saturday. Basketball will be playing Wednesday, Friday, Saturday. Rodeo will be going Friday, Saturday, Sunday. And our outdoor track and field kids will be running as well. So a lot of it happening. You can catch a lot of it on the Rustler Report Tuesdays and Thursdays at 9 o'clock on Facebook across the Rustler Media Network. We will take a short timeout. We'll come back the second half. Central basketball tied at 37 on 88.1, streaming live at rustlerathletics.com. Big thanks to the new media crew here at Central Wyoming College. They are our student crew for this television broadcast on Rustler TV, channel 189 on Spectrum Cable and on rustlerathletics.com. Dominic D'Ancy off of our CWC golf team is directing. Newmark, Rika Franca, and Riley Bouillon on cameras high above the gym. They're under the direction of new media professor Amanda Nikoloff. Rustlers in their home white, Klumak, Searles, Gentry, Levias, and Gaza, the five on the floor for C-Dub. Ball almost knocked away by Jones. Instead, Levias for three, and he'll knock it down and break the tie and give Central back the lead.
Said it'd get hotter in the second half, and since he had no field goals in the first.
A great Mystic one comes through. 9 points for Johnny Levias as Barish, 12-footer in the paint, knocks it down. Barish, Jones, Gustafson, Nakara, and Melisic, the same five that started the first half on the second half floor for the Eastern Lancers. Gaza
Kind of daring him to shoot from the free throw line.
Searles tries to bank a three, can't. Nakara the rebound. I don't think he tried to bank it. I think it just ended up better off almost trying to bank. Barish runs baseline, shovels it at the top to Gustafson. His triple is good. With both teams shooting hotter than they did the very first, which, like I said, wasn't hard to do the way this one started. Lead changes again. Searles in the lane, falls down. Klumak had it. He have it knocked away from him. Up ahead, lay in, no good as Levias went after that one. Klumak floating 15, left it short. And Melisic takes it away. Contact on both sides, maybe nothing called. As Jones guarded by Klumak, baseline, elevates over. Jack missed it, he wants a foul. Levias, and there's a foul coming. Jones comes out of there a little gingerly, the Central foul called.
They thought they'd have a breakaway, but they wouldn't have. But I think that was what they were thinking when the foul was occurred.
First foul on Johnny Levias. First personal, first team. 2 minutes gone by here in the second half. 42-40. Eastern out in front of CWC. Melisic wide open for three. That one closer to being banked than anything else, but an offensive rebound by Carter Barish.
You know, he's played pretty well, really, for being like one of the smaller players out there.
Jones has it stolen away, and then Gentry throws it up, and it's going to be thrown off of the Rustlers out of bounds. And hobbling out of there is Nokara.
Yeah, he collided with the padding there at the same time he was getting the ball off.
Koch will return for Gaza. Teams traded turnovers as Gentry just stole the ball from Jones and then chucked it up blue line to blue line, too far out of bounds. And
Cairo does go to the bench, by the way, getting some attention there.
Samas will check into the game for him. Barish back to Samas. Barish to the baseline. Three by Gustafson is good.
Boy, the Finlander making his presence known here in the second half.
Couple of triples. He's got 6. The lead is back to 5. Searles baseline. Stripped on the way up and just take it away from him. Numbers 4 on 2, and they'll throw it away.
Oh, a hard-hit grounder up the middle there that not able to be fielded.
Jake Maddox checking in for Jalen Searles. 17 left to play, and our athletic trainer Adam Simon walking slowly with one Sofian Nokara.
He hasn't been busy, I swear, in every single event we've had here this year, if it be volleyball or basketball.
Hand check called on Samas, be his first personal. (45-40). Eastern out pointing Central 8-3 here in the early stages of this second half. Klumak back to Koch, back to Jack. Klumak 15-foot line, scoots it outside. Jake Maddox for 3 is no good. And a rebound pops into the hands of Samas. Jones stepping into another 3. That one is off the mark, and Klumak will get the rebound.
It really did step into, but really didn't square up at the same time.
Gonna get a whistle and a foul on Eastern, or is it just knocked out of bounds?
A kick ball maybe, or
just out of bounds.
Well, that's why it's out of bounds. It was kicked.
Toldson will check in for Melisic. Barish D'ing up, Klumak out at the man-to-man, top of his free throw line. Koch with his back to the basket, gets in on a double team, and he'll just have it taken away from him by Barish. Jones to the low block, bodying in Toldson, throws it through a couple of defenders. Jones, nice dish, extra pass, and a dunk by Toldson.
They had a couple real pretty plays, that being one of them.
Terence Jones with the assist. 7-point lead again for Eastern. They have led a couple of different times by double digits in this ball game.
And hopefully not shades of the women's game where the third quarter went awry.
Biggest lead was 12 in the first half. Central's biggest lead was by 3 just a minute ago to start this second half. Maddox deep in the corner, triple is good. Jake Maddox has 8.
6 here in the second half, right?
No, he had 5 and now 3.
So Klumak had the other 3 then, is that right, in the second half?
Johnny had it to start.
I'm going to get it if I name all of our 8 players. 9.
Foul from behind on Koch. Caden will pick up his second personal foul. Davis Richard in. We're going to see Quincy Taylor back in for Jones for Coach Moser's squad.
Not bad for getting off for a rocky start to just being in the second half, just being down by 4 right now.
Maddox's Rustler high as 8 as Koch just blocks that ball and takes it away. And then they give it back up and Toldson flushes it.
Well, they had the momentum in one direction, then quickly the other direction.
Back to a 6-point Eastern advantage, 49-43. Koch hands it back to Gentry. His 5th 3 is good.
Well, used the pick very nicely there. Gave himself some room and then scored it.
Saw Gentry and Koch working kind of their 2-person game a lot between the shoot-around and the girls' contest as Barish knocks one down.
I think he's played very well in this game.
6 points for Carter Barish.
He's run down loose balls, got the occasional rebound.
Sims and Searles to check in next dead ball. Gentry will go to the rack, off glass, and one.
The double pump paying off that time as he does it from the outside, now the inside.
5 threes and now a field goal for Jalen Gentry. He has 17 points, cuts the lead to 3. As Enzo Uri checks back into the ball game for Eastern, Chris Samas is out. Levias and Koch come out as Searles and Richard and Sims come in. Searles and Sims, I guess, the 2 that came in. Davis Richard, Jake Maddox, and Jalen Gentry already out there. Gentry, very good free throw shooter, will knock that one down. He's got 18. Jake Maddox season high, by the way, of complete that was 8. He's done that several times. He has 8 here today for Jacob Maddox. Barish dribbles it off of his leg, hands it out to Taylor. Taylor rises for 3. That one misses, but running it down in the corner is Toldson.
Great body control that time on the baskets.
Taylor knocks down another field goal. He's got 4 points. The lead is 4. Sims to Maddox. Maddox fadeaway 3 is good. Shooter's bounce for Jake Maddox and a new high as a Rustler. And he cuts the lead to 1, 53-52. Barish fouled by Searles, who is coming out to block him. Jalen will pick up his 2nd personal.
Surprised we don't see our strong contingent of volleyball team here cheering the Rustlers on. Looking at stranded somewhat between here and Powell.
I wondered what you were looking for help for. There's Jones back into the game, working on Sims.
It was a mic battering.
To Uri, corner for Taylor. Uri spins into the paint. 5 to shoot. Koch playing defense will send Toldson to the line. Koch will get his 3rd personal foul.
Maybe they're stranded in Matitsi. You know what that means.
Buffalo.
Buffalo rides, courtesy of Maddie May.
Caden Toldson going to the line for Eastern. They are 5 of 8 from the free throw line. Central has shot twice as many. They're 13 of 16, and Toldson hits the first. 11 points for Caden Toldson. Like I told you, Toldson has started 14 of their 16 games coming into this, averages 10 points a game.
He's that other player in double figures, I believe, isn't he?
Just under
9.3 or something,
yeah,
was it?
He's going to get 12 now, and he'll come out of the game. Back to a 3-point game. And it's funny, you watch this game and you think that this is not near a 3-point game right now. I guess in my mind, I would have thought that Eastern would be up by a lot more.
Yeah, of course, the dunks count 2 and the threes count 3.
Koch goes down hard. Maddox down the left side of the lane. That one will not go, but he will be fouled. Jake playing a lot more confidence here as he's got 11. He'll get a chance at 12 and 13 on that foul. Whistled on Quincy Taylor, his 3rd. Foul trouble right now for Eastern. They've got Milicic and Taylor with 3 each. Anybody else has 2 or less. Central has Koch with 3. Everybody else 2 or less.
Those were times where Jalen Gentry is resting on the bench.
Maddox connects. He's got 12. Like I said, his new career high as a rustler. He scored 8 against Casper College and against Northwest. He had 8 against Colorado Northwestern. And now he's got 11 now. No, not going to get 12. Rebound, though, fought for and pulled out of there by Jones.
You know what he does is a smart thing, though. He just rips away as fast as he can before that whistle for the jump ball comes.
Paid off there, for sure. 15 to shoot. Barish and an offensive foul going to be called on Uri.
Now, Barish was wondering why he was traversing the lane with nobody trying to make an attempt on him. Wow, this is interesting.
Sims takes the inbound, gives it back to Richard. Davis.
You don't have Gentry in there, which gives your point guard situation a little bit different look.
Richard going to run past everybody, and he gets leveled as he kind of had to throw that up with the left hand on the right-hand side as Uri knocked him to the hardwood.
Yeah, Uri made a mistake because that was a very difficult shot for him to take there.
Davis Richard dusts himself off and will head to the line. Central, as I mentioned, a 71% free throw shooting team. Davis Richard knocks down that one. We'll see another player heading to the locker room, unless that was the same one.
It was Nakara, I thought.
Yeah, it was Nakara there as Davis Richard makes both. We are tied at 55 apiece. 5 points for Davis. Underneath. Shot rejected by Searles, twice by Searles, but they will get it back. Barish penetrates, he'll go over the top, misses it, Maddox the rebound. Jake flips it out, Trey Sims for the three is no good. Barish, the Eastern rebound. Here comes Carter and company, he'll take it the distance, score it and one. Jake Maddox called for the foul, his second.
Took it all the way, got the rebound at one end, went the 90 feet the other way.
Shot by Carter Barish out of Logan, Utah. I believe I saw a family name on the entry list today on the limited crowd admission list for Barish.
You really do some background work when you're checking the entry list of fans at these games.
It's in-depth reporting right there. Might have been a little boredom in there as well. I was waiting for a coach to come by the table. Barish converts the three-point play, and it's back to a three-point lead.
We're much closer to Logan than Torrington.
58-55, 11:15 remaining in the first half. Excuse me, the second half of basketball. We're in the second half. Koch, not even looking at that 16-footer right there. Finally hands it back to Searles.
He does put on a solid pick, though, doesn't he?
Yes, he does. Searles runs down the lane. He will get it, and he will be fouled. Wow. As the shot clock stopped at 2 seconds.
Interesting, a chance to get the old-fashioned three-point play at this end after you saw it at the other end.
Caden Toldson the foul, and Jalen Searles a chance to tie us up for a 6th time. Gentry back into the lineup as we are tied at 58 on that free throw make. 11 minutes left to play. A lot of time left in this basketball game, one may say. Jones with Levias on him defensively. Jumps it to Toldson, throws it away into the bench, and then the steal. Levias has that one taken away. Koch goes to the ground. Davis flips it back out, and Central stays. 3 on the way. Gentry missed it, but Jalen Searles the rebound. Back to Gentry underneath. Levias and one. Central has back the lead and a chance at a three-point play.
Or the head fake really paying off that time as he sends Gustafson airways.
How about the offensive rebound by Jalen Searles to keep that possession and give it down low to a Johnny Levias, who has 11 now. Central with a 60-58 lead. Central 17 of 21 from the arc, 10% better than their season average. And it continues to rise at 82%. Davis Richard out. And then how about Koch and Richard going to the floor on the loose ball to save that possession there as well.
And of course players from Eastern doing it as well too. So it was a, oh, my son's been on Australia, so I'm thinking rugby.
61-58, 10-15 remaining. Barish flips it back out. Toldson stepped back like he wanted to hoist the three, but doesn't. Barish has Koch on him defensively. Koch says, okay, I'll get you back now. And then let Barish open. His three misses, but Uri runs the rebound down. Boy, he and Searles
a very dodged a foul.
Collided there. Jones short arms a three, no good. Jalen Searles, his fifth rebound of the ball game. Central with a chance to add to a three-point lead. Levias runs in, he'll go to the line and shoot a pair.
Gustafson kind of bodied him that whole drive.
Gustafson will pick up his second personal foul. Actually, excuse me, I'll check that. That'll be his third personal foul. 8 team fouls on Eastern. We'll get a timeout. A lot of timeouts left in this ball game for both teams. 61-58, Rustlers by 3. 9:37 remaining. We'll be back after this on 88.1, streaming live at rustlerathletics.com. .937 left after the media timeout. Central 61 and Eastern 58. Eastern 5-2 in the Region 9. They lost their last timeout. Got beat by Casper, stopping 5 in a row. Central 1-4 in Region 9. They've lost 5 in a row. I think they're 1-5 actually. As that free throw in by Johnny Levias, 13 for him now. Gets both.
And again, the tournament for both men and women is you don't cross until after the first round.
Got to get that play-in game to advance. Largest Central lead of the game now at 63-58. Gustafson three is no good, and Searles goes up high for the rebound. Chance to add to a 5-point Rustler advantage. We're under 10 minutes to play. And then an offensive foul. Where are they going to go? It looked like he was going to call it on Levias as Gustafson goes down.
It kind of locked up there. I didn't see it because it was away from the ball where I was looking.
Eastern thinks it's going their way. So does Central as Levias starts walking the other way. And they're going to call Johnny Levias for the foul. That'll be a turnover on Central. And it will be his second personal foul.
Walking the other way, though, he certainly doesn't agree with the call.
Out of the turnover, Eastern gets it back.
Interesting, they go slow, and then I saw they just jack up the speed in their offense.
Jones misses. Levias fouled by Toldson on the rebound, and that will be number 2 on Toldson.
Well, we could be shooting a lot of free throws, especially if you're CWC from here on out.
Yeah, that'll be 1 and 1 coming here, and then everything after that will be 2 with 8:54 left on the 9th team foul by Eastern. Central has just 6 called on their side. .14 points for Johnny Levias. 15 now.
We've seen this one minor league. I was reading about it somewhere that they've got these rules that are just off the charts. Like one is, if a fan catches a foul ball or a home run ball, it's an out.
All right.
That'd be a big advantage at home where you don't try to catch it if it's your team and if it's the other team.
Not sure how that transferred into the basketball broadcast
I
here.
I thought we needed something to make it more interesting.
11 for 11 is Johnny Levias from the free throw line today.
It's sports oriented.
How about that? 11 for 11. He has 16 points. 7-point lead. Uri down low. Gustafson shovels it back up. Searles gets it. And then thought maybe they would call an intentional on that because Toldson kind of held him and it kept him from going and dunking it on the other end.
Never got him ahead of the pack is the key.
Searles will go to the line. Central 22 of 26 from the free throw line, 85%. Jalen Searles has 9 points, looking at 11. Jalen is 5 of 8 from the stripe on the day. 6 of 9. Uri checks out. Samas back in. Central will shoot 2 free throws on everything here on out, and they have shot very well today from the free throw line.
Has Moser kind of shrunk his bench here in the second half?
Yeah, he's certainly reined back in the free subbing that he had going on in the first. As Searles misses the second, rebound by Eastern. They trail though by 8, 66-58, Central's largest lead of the basketball game. Looking for just their second conference win, the Rustlers. Foul going to be called on Jack Klumak. And Jack will pick up his 3rd personal foul. And to the line will go Terence Jones.
One of those force the issue calls where you just force them to make a call one way or the other.
It'll put him at the line. 1 in the bonus. That's the 7th team foul. So yeah, you prognosticated a lot of free throws coming. We've already seen 39 free throws in this game so far. Terence Jones knocks down the first. He's got 11. Koch will check in for Jake Maddox. And we're going to see Milicic back into the ball game for Caden Toldson.
Like a matchup of post checking in.
Free throw, good by Jones. 12 points for Terence Jones. Gentry will bring the ball across the timeline. Koch with his back to the basket. Again, not even looking at that 15-foot shot. Jones will be called for the foul. I've got him for 2, but I'm missing 1. We'll see where it does leave him with his 2nd personal foul.
Like maybe a reining in kind of call there. It didn't seem like a whole lot of contact.
Searles back to the stripe. 10 points for Jalen with 6 rebounds. Johnny Levias 16.7 rebounds. Jalen Gentry has 18 points. Jalen Searles making that one. This is the 30th free throw attempt of the game for Central. Forthcoming, they've hit 24 of their 29 at 83%. CWC women fell to Eastern earlier, 85-61, as Searles gets both and makes it back to an 8-point lead. Gustafson to Barish.
That was close to travel, but he kind of dragged that back foot there.
Yes.
Gustafson, that is.
Stuttered, didn't he, as Klumak playing defense on Jones. He kind of let him go at the beginning, but then didn't go to rebound it either. And Jones with the putback and the bucket, and a timeout called by Coach Mosier.
A strong play for a guard there inside.
68-62, Rustlers the lead. Full timeout on the way. We'll be back after this timeout on 88.1, streaming live at rustlerathletics.com. Some of the other games going on today. Western actually hosted Northwest last night, and there was no scores posted for anything on that. Northwest is scheduled to be at LCCC tomorrow in a Sunday affair.
We've seen a couple of Sunday ones, which is both volleyball and basketball this year.
Which we have seen. Casper is at LCCC today. Now, again, we mentioned it, but LCCC will play 6 games in the last 10 days of the regular season.
I wonder what would happen to us in that situation if our volleyball team would be forced. Because we have an awful lot of players from Utah of that faith. Maybe they would not want them to play ball that day. Interesting. It hasn't happened, but what would you do?
Definitely something to be addressed if that were to happen, as Klumach throws it off the leg and Jones picks it up on the turnover. Dead even in turnovers at 15 apiece. Jones over Klumach, missed it. Koch, the strong rebound. Central back the other way. And then they'll turn it over on the inline as Gentry can't handle the long pass. And they'll give it back. 7:15 remaining in the contest. 68-62, Central by 6 points.
Now we see no car at the end of the bench, but he does not look comfortable there for Eastern.
He's got his right shoe off, in fact, with ice, looks like, taped to that right leg. Jones and one over Klumach, who will get his 4th personal foul. Terence Jones now 16 points. Chance at 17. Klumach's got 4. Let's see what Coach Schmidt does with that information.
Right now he's lobbying the official, but he's saying his player was straight up.
Jones converts the 3-point play. Maddox will check in for Klumach. 17 for Terence Jones now, shooting right at his season average of 17 a game, the freshman from New Jersey. Cuts the lead in half, 68-65. Maddox across the timeline. Gives up the dribble, hands it back out to Gentry at the midcourt logo. We're under 7 left to play. Searles back out to Gentry, almost lost it. Barish all over him defensively. Maddox now, Levias 15-foot line, runs past Jones, contact in there. Levias gets his own rebound and puts it back in. Great job by Johnny Levias.
And great job fighting through contact there on his part.
18 for Levias. He and Gentry with 18 apiece to lead the Central scoring attack. They're back up by 5. Gustafson, baseline, Melisic for 3. Clangs out of there. Levias had a hand in his face. Jones will get the call, his 3rd. Comparatively to what has been called, not really much substance for that one, but it's a foul going on Jones. His 3rd. More free throws Central. Johnny Levias working on a double-double. He's a rebound shy of that. Free throw is good. Second one is also good. I hesitate to say it while he's doing it, but 13 of 13 from the line, Levias. Nice dish, Melisic, bank it off glass and score it. That was a nice pass by Chris Salmas.
They've had some nice interior passing in this game.
72-67, 6 minutes remaining. Gentry with Salmas on him defensively, hands it back out to Levias. Almost looks 2-3 zone-ish right now.
They've been in that for a while.
High post, Levias kicks it over to Gentry for his 6th 3 of the game. No good. Barish has the rebound tipped out to him, and he's off and running. Jones wide open triple, knocks it down. They'll just call it a 2. 19 for Jones, makes it a 1-possession game, 73-69.
Interesting, I thought he looked down to see where he was, but
official right there points and says, you're on the line, my friend. Levias to Koch, he's got to get out of the lane. He'll get it back. Might have been 3 seconds on the Rustlers, but instead they'll turn it over the old-fashioned way and give it back. Jones thought about a three. Barish will. Will he tie the game? No. Koch, and a foul going to be whistled on Koch. And that'll be number 4 on Caden. And it's going to send Melisic to the line. Herman 10 points and a rebound today, getting the start. Melisic, by the way, is a 90% free throw shooter. He hasn't shot a bunch, but
a couple of rarities there for your post. Only 1 rebound so far, and also a 90% free throw shooter.
17 of 19. You heard him snap the cords on the first, so he's now 18 of 20 on the season. And he'll miss that one. Levias now, by my standards, a double-double and a timeout called. Coach Schmidt said we've been calling too many timeouts. We don't have any left at the end of the game, and he's got lots of them left. He'll have 4 left. 4:54 remaining in the contest. Rustlers by 2. We'll be back. Finish the game after this timeout on 88.1. Streaming live at rustlerathletics.com. .454 remaining in the contest. Central by 2. Regulation time 72-70. Maddox, Levias, Searles, Koch, and Gentry, the 5 on the court for the Rustlers. Barish, Melisic, Gustafson, is that 15-footer no good. Melisic the rebound. It was kind of early in the shot clock, honestly, but it was a pretty good look for him.
By the way, Eastern will be in the double bonus here on the next foul as well.
Samas, Jones, Gustafson, Barish, and Melisic, the 5 on the floor for the Eastern Lancers. Jones steps up, fires a triple, missed it. Rebound, though, grabbed by Samas. He almost got it knocked out of his hand, and an offensive foul coming on Jones. And he's saying that he was inside the circle. That's what Jones was saying, that Levias was inside the circle. But referee calling it the other way. It'll be a turnover. And we'll get a substitution. No, he was outside the circle.
Yep, barely, but he was outside.
Watch the replay, courtesy of the stream at rustlerathletics.com, being a little bit behind the broadcast, and he was outside the circle. Good call by the official, and turnover and a 4th foul on Jones, by the way.
Toldson comes into the ball game, by the way, as we were reviewing that.
Melisic is out, as well as Taylor coming in. 4 minutes left to play in the contest, 72-70. Both teams headed right at their average right now at 82 and 80. Jalen Gentry has 5 3-pointers in the ball game. He'll take it on the run. Comes up short. Koch the rebound and the putback. 4 points, 3 rebounds for Caden Koch. 74-70. Rustlers out in front now. Samas driving. Toldson kicks it back out to Barish. Now to Samas. He'll rise. Nope, didn't shoot the 17-footer. Back out to Barish for 3. In and out. No good. Rebound tipped, and they will stay in control. That 3 is good by Barish, and a timeout called. Wow, another offensive rebound by the Lancers, and
the tip out there. I hate it when they're doing that against my team, and I'm watching it on TV or live, either way.
They get the 3, and they're within 1. We're going to stay here for this timeout. And again, thank Dominic Dianzi, our student director, back at Master Control underneath Rustler. It's not underneath, but away from, it's way underneath where we are here in the rafters, but
he's over yonder.
Dominic and then Riley Bouillon, one of our cameramen there on the CWC golf team. They'll be absent next week as they travel to Otero to begin their season.
We're gonna have a skeleton crew here for the triple feature.
They'll be back by Saturday though, so they'll be gone Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, back late Friday night. So they may be bleary-eyed, but Amanda and I'll put them to work. So we'll need a couple of them. I think Wyatt and Riley maybe do the women's game in between us doing the volleyball and the men's contest.
We'll set up a hammock between the 2 games and rest.
Koch, Levias, Searles, Gentry, and Maddox, the 5 Rustlers. Gustafson, Barish, and not Jones, though. Uri and Tolson and Taylor, the 5 out there in black and yellow for the Eastern Lancers. 1-point ball game. Gentry, hounded by Uri, brings it across the timeline.
Every foul both ways, a double bonus.
Searles running down the lane, got it, and count it. I thought he might have traveled though at the top of that run.
That was an interesting drive, that's for certain.
Samas will get the call. I've got him for 2. That's actually his 3rd, so that's where I was missing 1. And
Here
it will
comes
send
Jones, by the way.
Jalen Searles to the line. 14 points for Jalen. Searles 8 of 12 from the line. He and Levias have shot 25 of the free throws themselves out of the 33. And it's back to a 4-point game, 77-73. 3 minutes left to play. Jones goes in on Klumak, throws one up short, and the rebound by Levias. Boy, talk about a shot early in the shot clock there.
Of course, he is their go-to guy, so.
Gentry brings it to Klumak in the midcourt circle. Back to Maddox now, Klumak. Jake to Levias. They want him out of there. Levias double teamed, gives it to Klumak, kicks it out. Maddox for 3 on the way. That one's no good with 3 seconds on the shot clock.
You can tell it was long when it left his hand, I believe.
Gustafson the rebound. Baseline, shots and air ball by Jones, picked up by Searles. Jalen into the front court, finds Klumak. Jack gonna run some clock as they'll give it back out to Levias. 2:10 left to play in a 4-point game. And now another timeout called by head coach Brad Schmidt. 2:07 left. Rustlers looking for their 2nd conference win. And to stop a 5-game skid, they've got a timeout. We do too. We'll be back after this on 88.1 and RustlerAthletics.com. (77-73), Rustlers by 4. A little over 2 minutes left to play in the contest. Possession arrow favors Eastern Wyoming, but it will be Central basketball out of bounds. 18 on the shot clock. Central in their home whites. Klumak, Gentry, Levias, Searles, and Maddox. Uri. And no Jones out there in the defensive set right now for Coach Moser. But you got to think that he would be heading to the check-in stand to play some offense here shortly anyway. Klumak spins, 8-footer at the end of the shot clock. No good, but he got his own rebound. The offensive board by Klumak. Big offensive rebound right there. They'll run more clock, and now a foul comes as Gentry and Samas tie up. And the foul is going to be called on Uri. I got him for 3. And it's going to send Jalen Gentry to the free throw line for CWC. Gentry, by the way, 87% free throw shooter on the year. That's what you want out of your point guard that handles the ball a lot. He's 1 for 1 on the day, 2 for 2 on the day.
I bet this record has been weighing on him too after a pretty successful last year, and you're back. And this year, you know, all those friends of last year are all gone, and you're not used to not winning.
20 and 11 as a freshman, and now 2 and 12 as a sophomore. Second free throw, good. How about Central free throw shooting? 30 of 35, mainly shot by 3 guys today.
Yep. By the way, there comes the inevitable pizza for the road team.
Nice extra pass. Gustafson can't handle it, and he gets knocked to the floor by Klumak, and I think Jack will check out of the game. And that is going to be on Jack Klumak, and that will be his 5th personal foul. Davis Richard will check in for Jack.
And Davis, probably a good free throw shooter, is one real key part of that.
Jack did not score today.
But he was a factor, though, which is interesting.
Yeah, defensively having to guard Jones for sure. Jones still has 19, though. Gustafson free throw is good. Bounced around and fell in. He's got 7.
They got hot just as the second half began, but not really since.
Central has shot twice as many free throws, 30 of 35. Eastern 13 of 17. Eastern's been called for 26 fouls. Central has been whistled for 15 fouls. Most of them in the second half. 1:20 left to play in the contest. Central by 4. The Rustlers trying to end a 5-game losing skid and go to 2-5 on the conference season. Gentry guarded by Samas. Baseline Searles kicks it to Davis Richard with 7. Wraps it around Maddox for 3. Misses everything, and out of bounds it goes.
They kill time, though, and that's key, too. You know, even though you got nothing out of it point-wise, you took almost a half minute off the clock.
Jones will come back in. Exactly a minute left to play in the ball game. 79-75 Rustlers, and we'll return after this timeout on 88.1. Streaming live at rustlerathletics.com. (79-75), Central by 4 with exactly 1 minute left to play here in regulation time. Urge you to head over to rustlerathletics.com. If you are watching this online, hit that subscribe button on there and stay up to date on any and all Rustler activities being streamed on this YouTube channel. Volleyball, men's and women's basketball. Full court pressure out of the Rustlers. Both teams in the double bonus. Possession arrow favors the Eastern Lancers. Eastern with 2 timeouts. Central has 3 remaining. Jones driving, kicks it outside. Pump fake, 18-footer, knocks it down. And a quick timeout called by Samas and the Lancers as he knocks down that. He's got 5 on that little 15-footer, and it's a 2-point game now with 48 seconds left.
Both coaches kept a lot of timeouts left over in their ammo bag for the end of this game.
Coach Moser has 1 remaining now after calling that one. Coach Schmidt has 3 left here in this contest. We've mentioned it a time or two, but don't miss the Rustler Sports Report. It is a video experience If you get past having me and Joel's mug on there, you can check out all kinds of stuff with
It's a mugging.
our athletes on there. It's every Tuesday and Thursday, streaming live on Facebook at 9 a.m. If you miss it at 9 a.m., you can catch one of the many encore performances.
If you miss it, you don't have to watch it.
So you lucked out, didn't have to, but it'll be on the Facebooks, all of the Facebooks for Rustler Athletics for the Rustler Report. And like I said, with 7 sports going on, we've got not at a loss of stuff to talk about, although a lot of it may sometimes not be very good from the two of us. We'll still have plenty of topics to talk about.
You know, we added sports partly to, for residence hall vacancies and stuff like that, whereas Eastern just made their team bigger. So.
And that's, the difference perhaps in recruiting budgets. So there are a lot of foreigners.
Boy, it's interesting when you see the differences, these schools in Region 9, and also why there's 2 that aren't there anymore.
Yeah, and it's not cheap to bring in foreign players, and Eastern seems to have as many or more than anybody every year. So great job on their Booster Club and Athletic Scholarship behalf to be able to fund a team as big as this with as many internationals as they have.
Well, the women's team had only 2 non-foreign players. I mean, very foreign. They were all across oceans, Remember when they had those 2 guards from Spain a few years ago that just, they obliterated us, basically.
Tremendous player.
Reminded me of the Rice sisters when they were in Jackson, when they played high school ball.
Full court pressure. Gentry, hounded by Gustafson, gives it back to Maddox.
Eastern doesn't have to foul here. Good, strong defense to get the ball back.
Searles gets it in the front court. 20 to shoot, 37 on the game clock. About a 17-second differential, as you can hear that bench in the background cheering their team off. 12 seconds to shoot now. Gentry on Uri. Kicks it out. Davis Richard for 3. That one's an air ball. Rebounded.
Look for Jones.
By Gustafson.
Who is not out there.
Yeah, Barish.
Oh, that looked interesting on the dribble.
Yeah, and he wouldn't have got out there, and there's a timeout called, and now he'll come in as Coach Moser calls it with 10 seconds left to play.
That looked like I thought maybe, did it look like a double dribble at all to you, or just weird?
I was actually looking to see if and when Coach Moser was going to call a timeout, so I was not kind of watching the ball, so to speak, on that, so no.
Well, it was better than me. I said give it to the guy who's not in the ball game.
Well, and he wasn't in because it was defense when they came out of the timeout, and he wouldn't have got in because—
I know they had the one timeout left, and this is it.
Right, the air ball did not stop play, and then on the other end, they get the timeout. So Coach Moser burning his last timeout. Coach Schmidt and the Rustlers have 2 left. 79-77, 6 seconds left.
And Jones is into the ball game now.
Yeah, he came up off the bench as Moser called that timeout.
Gentry's got the guard duty on him.
Barish will trigger the inbound. He'll lob it in to Jones. 10 seconds left. Jones, long 3, air ball. Gustafson had it. Searles will gather it and be fouled with 2 seconds left.
It's got to be a great, great feeling, but it's also got to be a huge relief as well, I think. We'll probably hear from the coach about that.
Gustafson, a long 3 with about 5 left on that shot clock.
And interesting because he's been driving it the last few times he's had the ball in his hands.
Yeah, and a 2 was overtime. A 3 would have won it, but Searles back to the line. Free throw is no good.
You don't have that timeout to throw the long pass and call instant timeout here. It's got to be in that 2.1 seconds.
Yes.
And maybe a miss might even be better here.
Just don't foul on that long 3 that's coming up. Searles to make it a moot point, doesn't. Jones gets knocked to the ground, and that's how it ends. The Central men stop a 5-game losing skid and have picked up their 2nd conference win of the season. 79-77 Central defeating Eastern Wyoming College. They will go to 3-12 overall, 2-5 in the conference. And more importantly, Joel, I think maybe picking up some much-needed confidence.
I would say so. I would concur.
I think some chatting going on, perhaps, between different players and people, and
there's not that many people in the stands to chat with.
This is true. This is true. But Central stops a 5-game losing skid. They win it 79-77. And I think what gets lost in this too, Joel, was the 1-for-16 shooting performance to begin the ball game by Central, and they come back and win the thing.
Also hobbling very badly as he goes off the floor right now is Nokara, who and the coach is already here.
We'll take a break. We'll come back with the coach and bring you some final stats in this one as well. Central 79, Eastern 77. We return with the Wydot postgame show. It's next after a Central victory here on 88.1. You've been listening to Rustler Radio, 88.1, and streaming live at rustlerathletics.com. (79-77), the final. Central stopping a 5-game skid and picking up their second conference win. And we have the coach with us, Brad Schmidt. And Coach, your team started, I had you at about 1-for-15, 1-for-16 in this ball game, and you come out and win the thing.
Yeah, it was we started really slow, just making shots, and and that's kind of good. Luckily, it was at the beginning of the game, John, and not in the second half where we've had some of those offensive lulls. And, then I tried to find the right lineup, and we ended up hitting on it with Gentry and Maddox and Searles and Davis and Caden, and those four really got us going in the first half, especially Gentry. I mean, he just banged a couple of hard threes, and just he was playing at a different speed than a lot of our other guys. And then, Searles and Johnny did a really good job putting pressure on their defense, and we got in the bonus really early, which was beneficial in both halves.
I have you 30 for 36 from the free throw line. Johnny 13 for 13. Jalen 9 of 14. Jalen Gentry 3 for 3. The majority of those free throws coming from those three guys right there.
Well, that's where some of my frustration's been this year. Is we punch the ball at the basket a lot, and it puts pressure on teams. And there's games where I felt like we weren't getting a lot of calls when our guys were getting blown up going to the rim. And today, we got a few more whistles, which was nice. And this is an elite free throw shooting team. I mean, we do a free throw finisher every day at practice, and this is by far the best team I've had in 3 years as far as guys just consistently making those into the kind of game situation free throws.
Yeah, typically 71% from the line, go 83% today, shooting a bundle of them, 30 of 36.
That's pretty good because you had a pretty good free throw shooting team 2 years ago. In fact, one of the top free throw shooters in the country at that time.
Yeah. Ginn was special, and some of our free throw woes come when Searles, he's only a 50% free throw shooter, and what did you have, 9 of 14 tonight? So that helps.
In a game like this, is it more happy or more relief, or is it the monkey off your back? Is it just a lot of things that you're feeling now?
It's a lot of things. I'm just, as I've told you guys multiple times, my frustration with winning and losing has nothing to do with my personal ego or anything like that. I want the kids to, enjoy success, and the winning and what more trying to teach these guys the process of getting to be in a winning college basketball team, because you can have all the talent in the world and you can do a lot of good things, but you got to have the mindset, and we just have been lacking that, and hopefully this is going to spring us to some good stuff down the stretch.
Must be an interesting year for Jalen as well. Like, he's the survivor kind of last year's team, and it probably weighs on him pretty good, I imagine, being the senior member of this team.
I think it did early. I think it did for both him and Abdi. Just the expectations, the onus I put on my returners, because they know me, they know the system, they know the expectations. So yeah, I think it was hard on Gentry, but I think he's finally embracing that role, and I think he's playing better because of it. And that's part of junior college basketball. Is that you're going to have a lot of turnover. And you're only going to have guys for a year or two, and so it's awesome to see him playing so well right now.
4 in double figures tonight, 20 for he and Levias, 15 for Searles. You had Jake Maddox come off the bench for 12 tonight. Your bench scored 24 points. Their bench scored 23. And like you said,
his was bigger than yours.
He had a lot more bench than your bench.
Oh, yeah.
But Davis Richard, 5. Trey Sims, a triple big at the time, obviously. Jake Maddox had 12. Caden had 4 to help out down the stretch. And, now you get to come back to practice, hopefully with a little renewed vigor, and you're going to have to play 3 games in 4 days starting Wednesday.
Yeah. No, it's the guys, our practices they've been good all year for the most part. If I recall, we've only had about maybe 2 practices where, I've been down on the guys. So, yeah, I think we'll have newfound life, but it's not like we've been having bad practices leading to losses. It's just the mindset of college athletics is a monster, and these guys have gotten exposed to it this year, on top of dealing with all the pandemic and
right.
everything that's also causing stress for everybody's life.
For sure.
We talked about bench play. Caden Koch scored 4 points, but that putback, I think, was maybe as key a basket as you had in this contest.
Massive, because we were struggling to score there, over that kind of whatever that was, from like the 4.5 minute mark to about the minute and a half mark or something. And, the guys were on him pretty hard about not finishing one of the layups they dumped to him earlier. And so it was good for Caden to see that. And, it's just part of my job once game comes is finding the right 5 guys that play well together, and Caden came off the bench and provided that spark along with Maddox.
It's weird that 2 of your next 3 opponents are the same on a back-to-back Friday night, Saturday night type of thing with LCCC. That's got to be easy for preparation too.
Yeah. They got a crazy busy 10 days coming up, LCCC, with the weather that they've gotten, and so yeah, it starts with going to Casper on Wednesday night, and our guys are pretty juiced to play those guys again after they put up over 100 on us in our place, and I thought we played pretty well. So we'll see if we can keep this thing going.
Hey, congratulations on this one. Enjoy it, and back to work on Monday.
Thanks, guys. Appreciate it.
Said Coach Brad Schmidt, his team winning it tonight 79-77. And we'll come back in the YDOT postgame show. We'll bring you the final statistics of this contest. Your postgame show brought to you by YDOT, the 511 app, and YORoad.info. Post-game show brought to you by WyoRoad.info and the 511 app. Final statistics in this one. We were dead even at 37 at the half. Central outscores the Lancers 42-40 in the second half. Jalen Gentry and Johnny Levias 20 points apiece. And Johnny 13 of 13 from the free throw line. Jalen Searles 15 points. Jake Maddox, new career high for him as a Rustler, 12 points.
And as you run down these points, we needed every one of them.
Yeah, every one of them for sure. Is 5 points Davis Richard, 3 points Trey Sims, 4 points Caden Koch in the contest. For the Lancers, they were led by...
One more thing, that Trey Sims, remember, that was like the first got us going, in fact. Remember, we were really cold, and he hits that 1-3, his lone 3,
Yep.
and that sort of took the lid off the basket for us a bit.
And Davis had one in that first half as well. Terrence Jones led Eastern with 19 points, 12 points apiece for Carter Barish and Caden Toldson, 11 points for Herman Melisic as he gets the start today. 8 points for Nikolai Gustafson, 5 for Samas, 4 for Nokara. We hope he's okay on that right ankle. Quincy Taylor with 4, and there was a straight bucket in there that I did not tally, but put it on the list there as well, so somebody may have had more than ended up with there. But
let's give it to Nokara. He was hurt.
79-77. Central now 2-5 in the conference, 3-12 overall. They stop a 5-game losing skid, and they put Eastern on the second end of a losing game. They lost to Casper Wednesday. They lose to Central tonight, and they're 5-3 in the conference play, 12-7 overall. Central will be on the road Wednesday when they go to Casper College for games at 5:30 and 7:30 at Sweet Erickson Thunderbird Gym.
And this one, I think, very important as they go down the stretch here.
They'll be back home on, they'll be on the road to Cheyenne on Friday, taking on LCCC, and then host LCCC the very next day in Riverton. Volleyball is at home on Friday and Saturday. Rodeo is gone. Golfers are gone. Our running team is gone. You can catch up with all the details on the Rustler Minute and the Rustler Report on Tuesday morning at 9 o'clock on the Facebook stream. Final thoughts?
Just the part that it was a much-needed win, and I think maybe a confidence booster that they so dearly needed.
Yeah, Central victorious tonight. They win at 79-77, and again stop a 5-game losing skid, picking up their second game in conference. Headed down the stretch, we've only got one more home date. That'll be a triple header with volleyball.
One more, and it's Sportsapalooza.
Triple header on Saturday with volleyball, girls basketball, and men's basketball, and we'll be here as well. Thanks to Amanda Nikoloff and the new media class and their help and sponsorship of this entire sports season, and to all our sponsors as we say goodbye as well. Women fell 85-61. Men win at 79-77. For Joel Kindle, I'm John Gabrielson. Thanks for being a part. This is Rustler Basketball from 88.1.